Hello my lovelies and welcome back to the mat. Okay, today's workout is perfect for those days where maybe you're feeling a bit low on energy, or you're bloated, or you're feeling a bit sluggish, especially on those days when it's our period. It's the worst and you don't just want to sit around feeling sorry for yourself. So if you have made it onto the mat, I am proud of you. And today we just have a 10-minute flow. So we're not going to be doing anything strenuous. We're just going to be moving from one mobilizing exercise into the next, and then finally finishing off with a really good stretch. Okay, so you're not going to need any equipment, just your beautiful self, your sore tummy, and your mat, and we're going to get started. We're going to begin in a seated position. I say this in all of my classes, but if you are uncomfortable in a seated position, you can pop a yoga block or even a pillow underneath your glutes. That should help make it feel a bit better. And hands are going to come onto your knees. We can close our eyes to begin. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths in. So we're going to inhale through the nose. We're going to fill up the lungs. Exhale through the mouth. Repeat. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One final deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill up the lungs. Hold that breath for 1, 2, 3 seconds, and then exhale through the mouth. You can gently open up your eyes. You can place one hand onto the mat. Okay, we're going to inhale, reach your fingertips up. As you exhale, you're going to bend over towards that hand that's on the mat, looking underneath your armpit to the ceiling. Feeling the stretch all along that other side of your body. So if you've got your left hand on the mat, you'll feel the stretch all along the right side and vice versa. Making sure your sit bones are grounded. And then inhale, allow your arms to come out to a T, and then cartwheel them. So you're going to place the other hand onto the mat, so this is my right, and I'm going to lift my left arm up and over, looking underneath my armpit to the ceiling. Feeling a stretch along that left side. And repeat, inhale, T those arms, cartwheel them to the other side. Just being gentle on our bodies today. There's nothing worse than period pain. And in today's flow, I just want you to focus on just allowing your belly to be soft and to really taking breaks. If you only manage 1 rep, that's totally okay. I think the biggest thing is that you showed up today, and that's what you need to be most proud of. Today is going to be imperfect, and that's totally okay. We're going to go for 2 more. Last one. Reach up and over. And then come back to that center position. Turn around and gently come to lie on your back. Just gentle, gentle, gentle. Until you are all the way onto your back. Now, as much as I would love to just chill here for the rest of the session, we're going to get into some abdominals, which is not something that we want entirely when we have a sore stomach, but it does help ease the pain in a way, believe it or not. So, to begin, is we're going to rest both of our arms on either side of us. Okay, your feet are close in towards your glutes, but nothing too intense. Not too close, sorry. Inhale to begin. On the exhale, you're going to gently float your right leg into that tabletop position. And then we're going to tap the toes down towards the mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Now it's important to note that when you float your right leg into a tabletop position, I want you to make sure that your entire spine is melting into the mat, okay? As much as our stomach hurts today, it's important that we're still engaging our abdominals just a little bit. So today's a bit lenient with that, but still, bring that belly button to your spine if you can. And then from that hip bone, you're going to gently lower that leg down, tapping the toes, not bending at the knee, and then lifting it all the way back up. You've got 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Wonderful. And then lower that leg down towards the mat. We're going to move straight into the other side. Exhale, lift that leg into a tabletop. From that hip bone, or that hip joint, sorry, start to tap that toe down towards the mat, cores engaged, and lift it up. So we still don't want our abdominals to dome. And lift. Exhale as you tap that toe down. Inhale as you bring it back inside tabletop. We're going to go for 3 more. Well done. Last 2. Last 1. Can you keep that leg in a tabletop position? And I'll float your right leg into a tabletop position. And I want you to connect your knees and your feet together. Okay, so they're in a tabletop position, but they're glued together. Wonderful. We're going to extend the legs out to 45 and we're going to bend them back in. So core still engaged, mat is still flat on the back, back is still flat on the mat the whole time. Extend it out, bend it back in. Extend it out, bend it back in. If you're feeling strong, you can reach your arms up to the ceiling, palms facing one another, hands in line with the shoulders. Extend it out, bend it back in. We're going to go for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold your legs out that 45-degree angle. Make sure lower spine is still on the mat. You're going to open the legs. You're going to close the legs. Open the legs, close the legs. A little bit of inner thighs as well as lower abdominals. Open and close. If you can go a little bit lower, do so with your legs. Otherwise, keep them at the 45. Even if the 45 is too much, you can keep them at that 90 and open it. Then it won't be so much on your abdominals. It'll rather be into your hip flexors there. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Bring them back together. Bend into the knees and hug the knees in towards the chest. Just rock from side to side. Massaging the lower spine. It feels so good. And then come to the center position. Drop your feet down towards the mat again. They hip width apart. Hands are going to rest on either side of you. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, we're going to tuck our pelvis under. We're going to start to lift each vertebrae off of the mat. Bring our hips up to that glute bridge. Inhale at the top. Exhale, start to articulate through the spine all the way down. So starting to pace each vertebrae. So from upper to middle to lower. And tucking the pelvis at the bottom. And repeat. Tuck it under. Start to lift lower, middle, upper spine off of the mat. Lifting your hips up, squeezing your glutes. And slowly rolling it all the way back down. So on days like today where everything is a lot slower, it's sometimes actually really good for focusing and honing in on perfecting our form. So specifically in glute bridges, when we are normally doing this exercise, we're a lot quicker. And sometimes a lot of people may feel it in their lower spine. Sometimes they don't feel it in their glutes, they feel it more in their hamstrings. And this is all just boils down to the fact that we move sometimes too quickly through. So this is really good on days like today, where you can just really focus on your form here, because there's no need to get through it to move on to the next exercise. So focusing on our breath, your core is lightly engaged, because we still want to have that rib to hip connection, so don't let the ribs flare out. We're going to go for 3 more. Making sure the knees are staying glued in space, they're not rocking from side to side. If they are rocking, slow it down even more. Last one, we're going to hold it up. Hold your hips, all of the weight into your glutes, and then we're going to tap the glutes straight down. We're going to lift them up and squeeze. Tap them down, lift them up and squeeze. Tap down, lift up and squeeze. So we have a straight back, or as a lot of other people like to say, flat back. Let's go for 5. Last 4. For 3. For 2. Last one, hold it up, hold it up. 4, 3, 2, 1, tiny pulses up to the ceiling with the glutes. Lift the hips up, squeeze at the top. You here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, roll it all the way back down gently and hug the knees in towards the chest one last time. Rocking from side to side. Massaging that lower spine. Then I want you to turn onto your side and then turn all the way around. Now you're on an all 4 position. Untuck your precious toes. I'm going to do some cat cows. Let's exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, arch, look to the ceiling, belly soft. Exhale, round, shoulder blades draw apart. Inhale, arch, shoulder blades kiss. Just flexing and extending into the spine, so we're not moving our hips back or forward. They're staying in their positions. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Come back to that neutral position. We're going to reach left fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it under. We're going to hold it there for 5 seconds. Resting your cheek onto the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then come back. And we're going to repeat to the other side. Inhale, reach right fingertips up to the ceiling. Allow your eye line to follow your fingertips. Thread it underneath the left. Rest your right cheek onto the mat and hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it onto the mat. Tuck your toes. Press back into downward facing dog. I'm going to come to the middle of my mat. And let's start to pedal out the feet. So you're going to lift one heel as the other one is onto the mat, and you're going to alternate. So alternating heel lifts. Feeling a really good stretch. Allow your stomach to just relax towards the mat. Your chin is tucked in towards your chest. You're looking to your toes. And then I want you for 3, last 2. Last one, drop both of your heels down towards the mat. We're going to float your right leg up into a three-legged dog. We're going to lower it down. We're going to alternate. And left leg, three-legged dog. And lower it all the way back down. Still looking to your feet the whole time. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Ripple through the spine. High plank position. Drop down to the knees. Open them out. Press back. So beautiful child's pose. And just taking a couple of breaths here. Reaching your fingertips to the other side of the mat. Making sure your glutes are grounded onto your heels. And just take a moment here to reflect. To be proud of yourself for showing up. You know, the hardest part is just getting dressed and getting onto the mat. The easy part is just flowing through it. You did it today even though you didn't want to show up and you were in pain, or you were seriously bloated, low on energy, whatever it might be. But you turned up for you, and that's all that counts. Let's go for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Slowly walk your hands towards your knees. And have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you're feeling better. Please like and subscribe. See you every Monday and Friday for a new workout.